We need a dopamine recalibration. We live in a society that constantly wants a quick dopamine hit. And people get it from the 1 minute videos, they get it from the YouTube videos, they get it from these quick fixes. But a lot of times in our journey, it takes a lot of patience and growth in order to really get the deep changes that we need done. And in psychology, we call it hedonic happiness versus eudaimonic happiness. And so hedonic happiness in psychology is a pursuit of pleasure, enjoyment, and immediate satisfaction. It's that instant gratification. While the eudaimonic happiness is a state of deep fulfillment and well-being that comes from living a life of meaning, purpose, and spiritual growth. So it's a great contrast of hedonic happiness, which is basically a quick dopamine hit. And the way people get their quick dopamine hits is through doing things that their flesh wants immediately. And so the flesh wants sex, they run out and have sex. If the flesh wants a quick form of happiness, they just go out and do things that cause them happiness. And so this clearly goes against biblical discipline, right? The Bible tells us that it's important that we do not live a life of instant gratification. These are the dangers of that. It leads to poor choices. The desire for immediate pleasure can lead to poor decision making and the focus can be temporary. Fleshly desires over spiritual growth happens all the time when we are constantly feeding our flesh. It fosters dependence on self and not on God. It also results in spiritual frustration because a lot of times when you are working on getting your desires need and not depending on God, you are doing things outside of his will. You are doing things on your time and then they won't last. And then you get frustrated with God, but God didn't tell you to do that in the first place. It creates a cycle of sin. The Bible teaches that yielding to desires can lead to sin, which ultimately leads to destruction. In Galatians 6:7, it warns whatever you sow, you also can reap. So although there's negative aspects to instant gratification, of course, there's positive aspects to delayed gratification. And so a delayed gratification, it promotes patience and it promotes self-control. The Bible constantly calls us to be patient, which is considered a fruit of the Spirit and a true key virtue of a Christian life. It aligns with God's timing, not your own timing, but God's timing. Encourage trusting in God's plan and timing, which are higher and wiser than our own, because he knows the beginning to the end. So